What's up, beautiful people? Kirby Hasseman here, and today I want to give you seven things that will help you in your relentless pursuit of better. Now, if you've ever heard before, I talk about the relentless pursuit of better because imposter syndrome is a thing. And for those of us who are trying to chase big goals, you're trying to do some sort of big project in your life, you're trying to do things that you've never been able to do before, the voice in your head is going to get loud. And I think it's important for us to have sort of soundtracks or coping mechanisms or things that will help keep us on track when we feel like we're getting off track. Well, my name's Kirby Hasseman. I'm trying to create some great content for you to help encourage you to kind of keep getting better. The goal is not the destination of perfect. The goal is better. So these are 7 things that I want to give you, sort of mantras or rules that will help you in the relentless pursuit of better. Number 1, if you want to finish any project, you actually have to start. That's right, you actually have to start. And I think that many people I know are sort of being paralyzed. They feel like they have to be completely ready in order to begin a project. And so they read and they listen to podcasts and they listen to books and they listen to people who, quite frankly, have never done the thing they want to do. And it freezes them, it hijacks them. And so they never actually get started on the thing that they want to do. And so one of the things that I sort of learned in doing this is that there are times where I know I should be doing something and I just don't feel like it. I just don't want to do it. And I think the funny thing about it is usually the thing that I know I need to do, I know I'm going to feel better afterwards, but it's hard to start those things. The things that are going to make me feel bad later, man, those are easy to start. Doom scrolling social media, super easy, but I always feel worse after. A run, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like doing it, but afterwards I always feel better about myself. And so in order to finish, I actually have to start. So one of the things that I figured out is I had to hijack my brain. I had to kind of talk myself into beginning as if I weren't going to do it full bore. This is just something that I've figured out works for me. So when I'm like, I need to do something on the treadmill, I would literally convince myself, look, I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to walk for a little bit of time, and that allowed me to get going. And once I got going, then I was like, oh, okay, I feel pretty good. I'm going to run. And so by really kind of lying to myself to get myself started, to hijack my brain in order to get it going, that's how I started doing the thing I knew I needed to do. So if you want to finish anything, you actually have to start. Number 2, generally it's not the complexity, it's the consistency. Look, I think, one of my favorite quotes, I use this quote all the time, is the greatest distance in the world is the distance between I know and I do. Because so many times we know what we should be doing, whether it's we need to make more sales calls. If we need to make more sales, we need to make more sales calls. If we want to be in better shape, we need to work out more. If we want to write a book, we have to write a page a day. We know sort of what we should be doing. And we certainly know enough to get started. It's not the complexity that holds us back. It's the consistency. It's the discipline to do the little thing every single day. Or as Alex Hormozy sometimes says, if you want to be exceptional, first you have to be consistent. Consistency comes before being exceptional. So it's not the complexity, it's the consistency. So with whatever you're trying to pursue, that relentless pursuit of better, it's really just about doing the little things every day. If you want to be in great shape, you can't go to the gym once a week and work out for 7 hours. That's not how it works. You have to go every day, or 3 to 5 times a week, and work out in smaller periods. And over a period of time, good things will happen. So if you want to be more successful in the relentless pursuit of making yourself better, it's not the complexity, it's the consistency. Number 3 is one I really struggle with, and it's that other people's opinions are none of your business. Look, if you're doing something that you've never done, and quite frankly, the people you're surrounding yourself have never done either, you're going to get some judgment. You're going to get some hate. You're going to get criticism, and sometimes it's from people with the best of intentions because they just don't understand why you must chase this thing, or they don't understand the steps you have to take to get it. And often they don't understand why you have to stop doing the things that you used to do with them in order to chase it. But other people's opinions are none of your business. You need to often be respectful of those folks who have those opinions, but but often ignore them and really kind of prioritize your goals and yourself a little bit first. So just understand that even though some of those folks who are criticizing or pushing back on the thing you want, maybe they're well-intentioned, other people's opinions are none of your business. Number 4, lift the heavy stuff first. I think so many times because we do know what we should be doing, we could, whether it's the night before or the morning of, we could prioritize the 1 or 2 or 3 things that we need to be doing that day in order to move our goal forward. The problem is those are usually the things that are most uncomfortable, right? And so we push them off. And the problem with pushing them off is the later it gets in the day, the bigger that problem, the bigger that challenge becomes, because willpower is finite, right? Like decision fatigue is a real thing. So once you identify the 1 or 2 or 3 things that you need to do in order to move your goal forward today, do those first. The story I tell all the time is about, my dad and I moving a couch for the first time. We were going to move around the furniture in our living room, and he went straight to the big couch in the room. And I was like, are we seriously going to move this first? And his lesson to me is always lift the heavy stuff first. After you do that, everything else seems lighter. That's true if you're in the relentless pursuit of better, because the heavy thing, sometimes you hear people say, do feared things first. The thing that you most likely need to do to move this thing forward is the thing you're most uncomfortable doing. So do that first. Number 5, perfection is a fool's errand. The reality of it is, and I kind of talked about this in the first thing, is perfection is holding people back from trying something that will make them better. And perfection is a procrastination tool. And we hide behind it sometimes to say, when we say things like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Yeah, okay, but the reality of it is the way that you get good at anything is by doing it poorly, right? We didn't start walking successfully, and if you are starting golfing or playing a sport, even pickleball is the rage right now, you generally don't walk out and have all the skills. You start by being really bad at something, and then you kind of grow those skills. You do by failing, and then as you fail, you try again and you get better. This is not brand new stuff, folks, but we fight that urge. We want to be great at something right to begin with. Otherwise, we're not going to do it at all. And really, it's a form of hiding. It's a form of fear. So I think one of the things about this video is we need to remind ourselves is it's not the relentless pursuit of perfection. It's the relentless pursuit of better. Perfection is a fool's errand, so don't try and chase it. Number 6, be patient with the results, but be impatient with your actions. I think in almost everything we're trying to do, especially if it's a bigger goal than you've ever done before, as I've said, it's a little bit like building a house. It's going to take longer and it's going to cost more money than you think and that you want, right? So be patient with the results. It's going to take more time than you think to lose the weight. It's going to take more time to publish a book. It's going to take more sales calls than you think in order to make all of the sales. So be patient with the results, but be impatient with your action. That's where it's like, okay, the moment that you know the action you need to take, I'll reference Mel Robbins' book, The 5-Second Rule. Start counting backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then take action. So be patient with the results, but be impatient with your action, because the action is the thing that you can control. There's a thing that's kind of like the 30-day rule, and most of us want to hijack that rule. We want to not believe that it's true. But if we really want something in our life, we need to dedicate 30 days of just relentless pursuit. If it's a fitness goal, you're going to work out 30 days. If you're going to make sales calls, make them 30 days. If you're going to write, create content, do it every day for 30 days. And when you do that, amazing things will happen. But here's the thing. Those amazing things will be delayed. They might be delayed 30 more days or 60 days or 90 days, but they will show up. The problem is most people won't do the 30 days. Most people won't do that work for 30 days. And the people who do that, at the end of 30 days, they don't have their six-pack abs and they're like, hell with it, I'm not doing this anymore. The key is to do the work when you're not seeing the results yet and have faith that they will come. And then once you've done the 30 days, do the 30 days again. After 60, after 90 days, those results start to show up and people say, wow, it's like an overnight success. So be patient with the results, but be impatient with your action. And the final rule, the final tactic of the 7 is measure what matters so you can learn. So this is something that really, it was a huge unlock for me as I started to kind of grow in my fitness. I'm a person who's always really enjoyed working out. I like to play tennis, I like to golf, I like to run, I like to be active. And for many years that was enough. But as I got a little bit older, I always say that I could outrun my bad diet, but there's a certain time that you just can't do that anymore. And so last year, I was really wanting to get myself into better shape, and I started to eat a little bit better. And that was good. So I was working out and I was eating a little bit better. But the real unlock, the thing that changed everything for me, was I started to weigh myself every day. I started to measure the thing that matters. And it was amazing how almost within weeks, I started to drop weight because immediately I had a feedback loop that said, hey, if I made poor choices the day before, I didn't work out, I ate poorly, maybe I had a couple too many beers, whatever it was, I stepped on the scale the next morning no matter what. Even if I knew I didn't want the information, I stepped on the scale. And I got immediate feedback to go, oh, I want to do today differently. And when you do that, when you measure what matters without beating yourself up, I think that's one of the problems. You measure what matters, but then you're like, oh, I stink. No, this is just, okay, this is the number today. These are the facts, right? And they are not in dispute. So, okay, this is what I just learned today. What can I do today that will be different than yesterday, that will get me a different result? And when I started doing that, I dropped weight almost every week because that was the goal, because I measured what matters. I learned from what I did, and then that affected my actions for today. Those are the 7 truths that I've found to be true in my goal, my relentless pursuit of better. I'm never going to have perfection. And frankly, I think I get held up because I don't want people to think that I believe I'm that. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday. And so I hope this has provided you some value. And if it has, please feel free to share this with somebody who you think needs to hear the message. And please subscribe and like and comment wherever you are listening. Thank you so much for coming along for these. And if you have any questions or you have any topics you want me to cover, let me know. We'll see you next time.